down with your volume. Can you help me out with that?
Yes.
All right, good. I love one person goes, yep. Well, hey, hold on. We got a little, you're our left person over there. Yeah, do it. It's not that kind of panel, folks. So come on. Either way, yeah, we'll get some hands on that one. And we'll put some, actually, this is going to look great when we turn the lights on. It's going to be, and then Mark will be here. No. Without any further ado, give it up for the one.
I'm using you as a prop.
The only. Here at Tampa Bay Comic-Con with all the lights coming up. Folks, give it up for the one. Mark Pellegrino!
How's that, Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay in the house.
Welcome in.
Thank you. Apparently I wore the right shirt for Tampa Bay.
Buc-ee's.
I confess every time somebody says, oh, Buc-ee's awesome. I've never been. I've been all over Texas, never been to Buc-ee's. A fan gave me this t-shirt, and now I'm very happy she did.
Yes.
Because it's sort of like a bonding moment between all of us.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a fraud.
You're soon to be converted. We'll get you there. We'll go to Buc-ee's after.
I hear it's great. Yeah, thank you.
How's the Tampa Bay Comic-Con been treating you?
So far, so good. You guys are pretty awesome.
Yeah?
I'm actually thinking about moving here to Tampa Bay.
Really? Yeah. Wow.
Hold on a second. Did I just see Pennywise the clown over there? Or is that,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm not the only one? That sort of freaked me out.
He's there
we're all
for
drinking
you.
the same water. We're good. That's Pennywise.
He's there for you.
You know, a neighbor of mine, I used to go over to his house and watch movies all the time. He had a clown. I made him break it. I said, I'm not coming over here with that fucking clown story. Get rid of it. And he ended up smashing it. Anyway, yeah, Tampa Bay is a beautiful city.
And you're wow. I mean, again, considering it's a beautiful city and the fans here, have the fans been treating you well?
So far, so good.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
I just want to absolutely thank you for your time here, and I think this is, since we got this beautiful room filled, if we want to do some questions already out the gate, just raise your hand, and we'll call on some folks. You there, sir.
Everybody that played your character
Socked.
in the nest.
Oh, sorry. Was that out loud? I'm kidding.
Which one was your favorite? Who do you think did the best job?
You mean in Supernatural?
Yeah, as Lucifer.
I would say Misha.
Yes.
But Misha, you know, counseled with me for hours about how I would do the moments. We actually went through the script, and I said, well, here's what I'm thinking. And I gave him sort of a broad idea of what Lucifer's perspective was on everybody. And then my wife happened to be shadowing, what they call shadowing, one of the directors. And so she would be there on the scene with him while he was doing some of the stuff, and they would text back and forth, and her text would be like, not Mark enough. and so he would, you know, apply his version of my Lucifer, which I thought was super cool and smart and an homage to the character, and there should be a consistent sort of behavior, even though Lucifer's jumping from meat suit to meat suit. But Springfield did not watch Supernatural. Yes, there should be dead silence today, because that's a sacrilege. That's why his Lucifer was so different. And of course, Sam was really the first Lucifer, right? Did you see him is it a dream? It's like an alternate type of reality? Yeah, and his was interesting too, because inadvertently there was a flavor of that Prince-like quality to the season 5 Lucifer that's not there from season 8 and on. Whenever he starts getting in Sam's head, the character sort of takes a turn. I think it becomes more broadly comedic.
Fair. Thank you so much for that question.
Good question.
Anyone else? Yes, you. Hello.
So, when Sam was mostly, like, the wall in his mind was coming down, Supernatural, and, you know, Lucifer would pop up every now and then, and he'd do his little bits. What was by far your favorite bit to act out, and did you yourself make any of them?
With Sam, you mean? I loved all the stuff in the mental hospital, you know, where I'm throwing firecrackers at him and just driving him insane. Analyzing myself from the DSM-3. Yeah, the malignant narcissist. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that was super fun getting inside his head there. And at the library, I remember shooting a scene at the library where I make everybody's head slam into the. Is that wrong of me to like that?
That's great. It's great.
It's sort of it's sort of what, that's the inside voice speaking out, right? I'd love to do that to so many people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Raise your hand. Yes, you, sir.
Yeah, so how was it work with Dee and Sam? And did Dee and Sam do any prank or joke?
No, so they don't prank me. This is a bone of contention with me. I just want you to know that. I'm still trying to sort out why I have not been pranked. Because what? I would not punch them. You can't punch something that pretty. Which, by the way, this is the real discovery. It's not real. Yeah, Jared is not really 6'5". He's 5'7.5". No. Truth, actual fact. They put him on a hill always when I do scenes with him, so they make him look like the tallest member of the cast, and I'm the second tallest member of the cast. It really bugs me. I think they were trying to do that to give me some emotional baggage for Lucifer, and also Jensen, all prosthetics. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No, I'm not done. It's prosthetics. So if you pull on an ear, it's going to come off. Yeah. You can't get that symmetrical and that beautiful without a lot of work. So it's about 3.5 hours of makeup before he comes into every con. Yeah. Truth. All of it. Believe me. Lucifer doesn't lie.
Thank you. I'm actually more scared of you than Pennywise right now. Oh, jeez. Question, anyone out there? Who do we got? Yes, hello.
What was your favorite part about filming with Billy?
Oh, I love them. They're so great. I guess putting all the pea soup in my mouth and just letting it dribble out like a popped zit. Yeah, that was super fun little video I did for them. I didn't know they had such a huge operation. Like that was another surprise. I mean, I know they were big on the internet. On the internet, I'm saying that like a total boomer. But it's like they flew me out to Vegas and they have a whole studio set up there, and it was quite a sophisticated operation. So I was very impressed by them, and they're awesome too.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Another question out there. Yes, you.
There have been countless versions of Lucifer and the devil across countless movies and shows. Curious, which other version do you think Lucifer would be able to befriend?
Which friend?
Yeah, which version of Lucifer would your Lucifer befriend?
It's the
Lucifer
multiverse.
befriends people
Smells.
unless they have a purpose. They serve a purpose, right? So I have to say ixnay on that, on befriending anybody unless they serve some other purpose. But I think maybe he and Al would sort of get along. Al Pacino.
Yes.
Oh.
Nice.
And forgive me for forgetting the character actor's name from Constantine who played Lucifer.
Peter Stoner.
Yeah. I loved him. I love that movie too.
Yeah.
That's a great
So
movie.
good.
I just rewatched it. It's amazing. It holds.
It
Oh.
really does hold up.
Yeah. Good
Keanu
stuff.
Reeves.
Oh,
Keanu Reeves, good dude. I love seeing good dudes make it.
Yeah.
He's a real straight up,
Yeah.
bench.
Yeah. What is it? You're breathtaking.
What's
Yes,
that?
and you're breathtaking too, my friend.
Ah, yes.
I'll take you to Bucky. Bucky's next. Now, a question over there. Yes, you.
So, in Supernatural, you talk a lot about you being in a cage with Sam and with Michael.
Yes.
But they never specifically state how you pick apart Sam before they brought him back.
You want to know how I tortured Sam in the cage? Well, last time I said something about this, I got in trouble on the internet for like 2 years.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what Lucifer does in his private time, trust me.
You're still
I mean, you think, I want to get into that brain. No, you don't. I would just leave that up to your imagination.
That's the scary part.
Mm-hmm. You think it could be scarier than Lucifer? Really? I dare say, I feel like saying, what would you do in the cage?
Between you and Michael, I'm trying to decide which one's worse.
Oh, Michael.
That's.
I mean, he's an asshole,
Yep.
right?
He's
You
a
saw the
cook.
version of him in the alt universe too.
You are her favorite character out of Supernatural, by the way.
Thank you. Everybody now is looking at you.
It's true.
She has been in love with you.
And some people are even filming you right now. Don't be embarrassed.
Give it up for that true fan, though. Give it up.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
It's good times.
She started watching the show, and I'll tell you what, she fell in love with you after 2 episodes of you in it, and she walked around the house saying, I love Lucy the whole time.
Yeah.
Love Lucy.
Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you so much.
She's saying stop, Mom.
Moms are supposed to embarrass their kids.
Yeah.
Actually, dads are supposed to embarrass their kids even more than moms. No, that's good.
Beautiful. Any other questions? Yes, you in the back.
Thank you.
See you potentially in an episode of The Boys.
That would be nice. I love that show. It is. Although it's getting gorier and gorier. Is it me or is it getting gorier and gorier as time goes on?
Some scenes just live in your head forever.
Yeah, literally. I mean, have you you've seen season 4? Everybody seen up to season 4? There's only 8 episodes in season 4.
Yes.
Okay, so I've seen all of season 4. I mean, there's a scene in there I can't get out of my mind, like you said. Any man could not get that out of their mind, and so you know exactly what scene I'm talking about.
With Rob Benedict.
Horrific. Yeah, they don't shy away from the blood in that, and
Maybe a possible Lucifer torture, if you will.
that could just gave me an
I think he's
idea.
talking about exploding penises.
Did your mind go there with Sam? Oh, you are a sick one. Yeah, love it.
Thank you so
I'd
much.
love to sit around that dinner table at night. Terrifying. Father says terrifying.
I'll let you pick a hand out here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sure. I'll get you guys. I'll get you guys later. But I'm gonna get yes.
How was it going into a role in for Lost where there was all this talk and build up?
We had a chance to talk to
before they
him.
entered, and there was a lot
All the time.
of gravitas without a lot being known, and then you came in later in the show to play that
I'm so
role.
sad.
What was it like being in the role of Jacob in Lost?
Yeah, and a character that had a lot of build up for a couple of years before you actually see the character. Well, I have to say that I'm grateful that I hadn't seen the show, so I didn't have any of that weight and burden to make that build up worth it. And one of my friends, she actually just wrote a horror movie that's really good, and I just forgot the name of it. Anyway, I'll remember the name of it. Anyway, my friend Sasha Pearl Raver was a huge Lost fan, and when I came on as Jacob, the most anticipated character, she was like, "Oh my God, it's Mark Pellegrino," and she couldn't get it. She couldn't follow it because she just kept seeing me in the part. But yeah, I didn't even know what part I was playing, to be honest with you, until I got there. The whole Lost phenomenon is sort of luck in a way, because I had 4 auditions that day. And that was going to be the 5th audition. It was 7 pages of material, and I said to my wife, I can't go in on this audition. I just have too much stuff I'm doing. I can't go in. She's like, you're dumb if you don't go in. It's the biggest show on television right now. Crazy, I was not watching television at the time. But I said, but I don't want to make a bad impression. You know, you go in there, you fuck it up, and then they think of you like that for the rest of your career. She's like, go in, it doesn't matter. So I went in. And the part was like Jason and some other guy talking on the beach. And it just so happened it was really well written. And when stuff is really well written, it's easy to, memorize more or less and be free with it. I had a great time doing the audition. And then 3 weeks later, they called me. And the first person to inform me that I was doing Jacob was Michael Emerson. Yeah.
How does it feel to say to him, what about you? It killed me.
Oh, dude. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, usually when actors are blocking, they call blocking in the rehearsal process, you're figuring out where you're going to stand and all the movements you're going to make so the camera can follow you. Usually actors sort of walk through that and figure out what they're going to do. But Michael was like, from moment one, rehearsing it full on, and it was, I mean, he made me cry. I mean, he made me so emotional. He was so intense, take after take after take. Pre-take after pre, a lot of actors want to save that stuff, you know, they think it's precious, but he just let it go every time, and he was stunning to watch. So he made me feel a real impulse, a real connection to him, and so it was ironic that by chance he came up to me like, you're our Jacob. My wife figured it out, but I didn't. I had no idea.
That's beautiful. And I think I looked up your friend's movie. Was it Totally Killer?
Totally Killer. Yes. Have you seen that? Totally Killer.
We got a few people out there, yeah?
Who's a horror fan out here?
Any horror fan?
Okay, yeah, you should watch Totally Killer. It's really good.
Anyone said nothing for that question. Who's a horror fan?
Yeah, why? Is there?
Okay, she chewed. It's fair.
Okay.
I think I saw a question though over here. You've been raising your hand. Hi.
You brought a very lovable quality to being the devil and kind of helped them root for the devil, which is crazy. Was that something that you brought to the character, or was that a note from the director?
I'd like to think that it's something I brought. But it's also in the writing, you know, you can't, I mean, you could bring more to the part than the writers envisioned, but you're still saying their words and doing more or less what they want you to do in the script. I think they started sort of after the Sam stuff and after getting in Sam's head stuff. I mean, I feel like they started writing from my quirky, weird style.
I think they started trusting you.
Yeah, they started letting you go and just riffing and playing, and I think every actor should have that sense of play to them, but I think that's what gives Lucifer that little bit of levity and likability. If he was just dark, you know, you'd have to find another way into getting the people on his side.
I think that raises an interesting question is, when did you feel like you had kind of stepped into the role? Like no nerves, no nothing, you are this, you are Lucifer.
Yeah, I feel like, that's a very good question, actually. I feel like my process is sort of immersive and has gone, especially when I started out in the season 5 Lucifer. I did all this work, all this homework stuff, and I feel that I'm a little less immersive now, but I still feel very engaged when I get there. I'm more about being playful and suggestible, like a kid, so that you you can be light on your feet when you're in the scene with another person. And I felt that really started to kick in the latter 3 or 4 seasons. I felt very simpatico with Lucifer.
Like everyone else does all the time.
Well, yeah, right? That's something only supernatural fans, I think, can relate to.
That's really awesome.
Yes.
Thanks. Were there any parts or scenes that you kind of just ad-libbed or improv and you just went with it?
Any improv or ad-libs?
Most of it wasn't improvised. The only thing that I changed for the most part when they had Lucifer say, "Oh my God," I would say, "Oh my dad." And they sort of went with that. And other stuff I can't really think of. It wasn't really an improvisational show. You know what I mean? You're little. You find your own way to do something, and it had an improvisational quality, but certainly not, not something it was more classical music instead of jazz, but you could still find the person and the personality within the tone,
Excellent.
musical tone.
Yeah, and Mark, you took charge. You're pointing at people.
No, isn't that what you said?
Yeah, it was great. No.
I'm
gonna kick back.
Ellie, yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Mark. I was wondering, what books have you been reading lately?
What books have I been reading lately? Oh, yeah. I've been reading a lot about the history of Israel. I had a debate that happened a few weeks ago, which was not fun, but I was sort of boning up my history on that very controversial topic today. So I wanted, which I know a lot about anyway, but I read about 3 or 4 books that were quite informative and gave me a new perspective on things that I didn't have before. So I'm sort of into that, and I'm about to start a fiction book by the guy who wrote American Rust, which is a show I did for 2 seasons.
Philip Myers.
Philip Myers. He wrote a book called The Sun. So Jake Weber, this actor I just recently worked with on this TV show, recommended that book, so I bought that because I need some fiction. You read nonfiction history, especially something as brutal as the Middle Eastern history. You want to shoot yourself after a while, and you need something to feed the well a little bit. So I think that might be the book that I might feed the well with.
Okay, thank
Do you know that book?
No, just the author.
That's awesome, though. I love history, though.
Oh, me too. I'm a big American history buff.
Military or
colonial time, revolutionary time.
Yeah, I'm going through the French Revolution right now.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Americans that were involved in that were pretty awesome.
Yeah. You go with what is it? America's favorite fighting Frenchman, Lafayette.
Yeah, Lafayette.
Yeah.
Who got buried in American soil, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
They brought it over.
They
Right.
brought American soil over to France to bury Lafayette in American soil, which I thought was profound.
And you all thought you were going to learn something today. We got another question out there. Way back in the corner. Yes, you got your hand.
No. I wanted Lucifer to have a redemption arc. And I'm not the only one. There was a writer or 2 in the room that wanted Lucifer to have a redemption arc too. And not having a father in my real life, the way Lucifer didn't have a father in his life, something I identified with on a personal level, by the way, which might add to some of the personal nature. I take everything personally, so I'm an actor. I wanted him to be a dad. I wanted him to experience what raising a son does to you as a person, how it grows you and makes you a better man, right? And it forces you to just be bigger than you are. And I wanted Lucifer to have that experience, and he was denied it by the fucking Winchesters and that prick Castiel. And when the show comes back, I'm gonna get revenge.
For Lucifer.
You're reading The Sun, by the way. They have a TV show on that. It's really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's from 2017.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did it just go 1 season?
2.
2?
It's really, really good.
But it was supposed to go 2 seasons.
No, it finished.
Yeah, so it was,
Yeah.
was very natural life. Yeah, American Rust only really had 1 season in it, but they extended it to 2. And I thought the second season was even better. I liked when they riffed and went in their own direction, to be honest with you.
I don't understand why it got cancelled again, but...
Yeah, no. There's this thing called Fallout on Prime, whatever.
That
was a good show.
My question.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I just wanted to, not TV show related or whatever, I was just curious to which countries do you still want to visit and you want to scratch off your list?
Which countries would you like to visit?
Yeah. Well, I'm visiting Florida.
It is its own country.
Literally, when somebody answers a question like that, but usually you see it in beauty pageants. What country do you want to visit? Nevada has always been interesting to me, especially the capital. So, I don't know, let me see. There's places I'd like to go in the Middle East because they're so rich with history. They're just so violent and ugly in every other way. I would love to go to Egypt and sail the Nile. They say you can't put your finger in the Nile or anything because you'll get emphysema or some disease because it's so polluted. I And I'd love to go to, I'd actually love to go to Iran. There's a lot of ancient sites there. But they have to sort out their jihadist nonsense before any, civilians can go there and hope to be safe.
Have you gone to like colonial America kind of stuff? Like, have you visited?
I did film, and I was staying in Fells Point, Maryland, in Baltimore. And so I took that time to visit a lot of the founding fathers' homes in Virginia. But I didn't go to Jamestown or anything that deep. And I've been to St. Augustine, which is interesting.
Yes, St. Augustine's beautiful.
It was pretty cool, to see something that goes that far back in America. But I didn't, aside from seeing Mount Montpelier and Mount Vernon and Monticello, I didn't see any other old sites. Do you have any recommendations?
I would always go with Gettysburg. I mean,
I'm supposed to go to Gettysburg and do a convention.
What?
Yeah, in September, at the end of September.
Gettysburg Con? What's that
Yes,
called?
what? Something like that. No, that Pittsburgh was last time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, huh?
Fort Ticonderoga.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that.
Yeah.
That caused a lot of problems. I'd visit that for sure. The first historical site I ever visited was in South Carolina. I was in Charleston. It was Fort Sumter.
Oh.
So I did a TV show that never got aired because it was too expensive. Steven Spielberg produced it, and it was called The Class of '61, and it was about the West Point class of 1861 and the divide that happened when Lincoln was elected, and between the North and the South cadets. At the opening of the Civil War. So it was a very interesting project, and I got to hang around historic.
What role did you play?
I don't remember my part. I was
You were a Confederate soldier.
I was a Confederate,
Yes.
but I don't remember my name.
You got shot in the head while riding.
He got
a horse.
shot in the head?
Yeah, I actually, it turned into a TV film, and I actually own the movie.
Oh, you too. I'm sorry. No, I only say that because this guy Greg Hoblit directed it, and this was Janusz Kaminski's first film with Steven Spielberg. Now, Janusz Kaminski won the Academy Award for director of photography for Schindler's List, so this was right before that. And then they developed a relationship where they did all the Lost Worlds together, and he's his go-to cinematographer.
Wow.
And when we were doing a scene, where, as the Civil War is beginning, the cadets are out in the court of West Point, and one guy starts singing the Star Spangled Banner, and I start singing Dixie, and we turn on each other, and we start getting into this fight. And there were two cameramen stationed at angles to get both of us at the same time. And Janusz left his position, it was a handheld camera, and came right up to me and started getting right there because all the cadets around us thought it was a real fight, and I was so mad, it was so honest that he just spontaneously wanted to capture it. And in the middle of it, Greg Hoblit goes, "Cut!" And he comes storming out to the field where we are, and he says, "I want a camera here, and I want a camera here. We do it all the time on Hill Street Blues. I don't want it any different." He didn't even see what was happening in the moment, and that pissed me off. So I have a boner for that guy. In all the wrong ways.
Thank you.
Anyway,
You want to take it away, whoever you'd like to pick.
Okay, thank you. So I'm one of the biggest Lost fans ever. Get into those scores. I'm obsessive, right? And Jacob was by far one of my favorite characters. 616, the best by far because it's the history of it. And I know that you said in many interviews that the only thing they said to you about the character is like Jesus a carpenter, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what you went with. But at the same time, I feel like so much was left unsaid as regards to Jacob. You guys could have done an entire season just you and the Men in Black and the creation of that part of the story. My question to you is, looking back, your assessment of who Jacob was and why didn't he give more information, not to Jack, but even Hurley, because at the end of the day, you kind of knew where the story was going at the end, right? What do you think Jacob was at its essence, and why didn't he give too much information?
Well, I think because like God, he has to let you figure it out on your own. And I think that was part of the essence of the struggle of all the characters on Lost, is that they come together and help each other through this process to get where they go. And I can't give them the answers, and I think I even say that to one of the characters.
Yeah, I mean more in the sense of like, you know, you sit them down, like you guys have the fire and you discuss that stuff. But I feel like Jacob was, and I want your opinion on it. My opinion was that Jacob was really struggled with what, because he was the heir and despair sort of situation, and he was supposed to be the despair, ended up being the heir of the island, because the island decides, right? And then at the end of it, like, yes, everybody goes through their own thing, but at the same time, I feel like Jacob struggled throughout the entirety that he had to protect the island. And you said in one interview, I was on the side of the Men in Black as well, because
Yes.
I really just wanted, like, he could just...
Yeah, well, yeah, I love choice and autonomy, and I would actually listen to Titus Welliver, who played the Man in Black. I would listen to, are we strobing over there?
I know.
I feel like I'm in a disco.
Oh, I know, my eyes.
I would listen to what he was saying, which was just he yearned to be free. He wanted to know what existed out there, outside of the confines of the island, which is, that's one of the greatest things about humanity for me, is the insatiable, unquenchable spirit to keep going and to know that pioneer spirit, which I found in him and Lucifer. Oh, that's a slip. All right. And Jacob was more insular and about duty and selflessness, and you know, you have this role to play, and it's not really about what you want at all. And I couldn't be any more opposed to that vision. That's why Jesus the Carpenter made so much sense to me. And Jack Bender, who's one of the producers of the show, was the one who gave me that direction. And it had resonance with me because I'd read probably a couple years before a book called The Master and the Margarita, which is a very interesting book. And I was religious at the time that I read the book. And the first few chapters are about Jesus. The first chapter opens up with this poet, I think he's an artist guy, they're in Russia, and he's sitting there talking to this old man about God doesn't exist, and there's no Jesus, it's all bullshit, it's a myth. And the old man says, I'll tell you what, he does exist. Jesus really was here. You know how I know this? I was there. He's talking to the devil, basically. And so he goes back in time and recounts the story of Pontius Pilate and Jesus, and I remember reading that and really feeling Jesus the Carpenter. Because it's hard to describe unless you actually read it, and it's been so many years since I read it. But he was this combination of totally down-to-earth guy who could, when you looked into his eyes, you knew he knew you. It was that intimate, every interaction with him. And then he'd do something offhandedly miraculous. Like when he was talking to Pilate, you know, the Bulgakov talks about, you know, Pilate had these terrible headaches, he hated being in Judea, it was, the people were savages, it was dirty, they hated the Romans, he was disgusted, he had these chronic headaches, the only things he loved was his dogs. And so Jesus would be in the middle of trying to explain himself, he'd be like, I gotta tell you, there's this guy following me around, he's writing down everything I say. It's not what I said, none of it's what I said. And your dogs aren't the only one who love you. And he'd do that. And suddenly, Pilate would be, blown away. And he'd be talking and talking and talking. He'd say, your headaches, don't worry about them anymore. And his headache would be gone. And that idea, that juxtaposition of perfectly human with that other quality.
Now other people see that.
Yeah, and I thought that was the perfect thing to say to me. He didn't know it at the time, but it was the perfect thing to say to me. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to say, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
For you, what has been the most rewarding role you've taken on?
The most rewarding role.
Besides Hamlet? Yeah, I did Hamlet. My wife and I worked on it for 2 years and put it up for 3 months, and that was very, very interesting. It's hard to say because I don't know that I've found my potential yet, so I'm still searching for that. But there's times when I have bursts of a sense of it in lots of different parts, and Lucifer is one of them where I feel there's bursts of real fun and real humanity within crazy circumstances. And also, the closer I really liked, because I played a character there that nobody in a million years would probably cast me as. And so I got a chance to explore a whole different universe of possibility, and make a character, an unconventional character, very powerful, which I love, right? Gavin Q III. So if you see the last season of The Closer, I play Kira Sedgwick's defense attorney. She's on the hook for murder. I get her off. I beat Curtis Armstrong, by the way. He plays the prosecuting attorney.
What?
I kick his ass.
Yes.
In every scene, he gets his head handed to him. He's so frustrated. I know he went home and drank after every scene that we did, because I just fucked him up.
But he liked it though, right? He liked it.
Oh, well, you know what? He better like it. Gavin Q was awesome. He was flamboyantly gay, proud, I loved wearing $7,000 suits. I loved being coiffed and fashionable and not giving a fuck what anybody thinks, which is sort of Lucifer anyway, but it came over to Gavin Q III and I just loved his power. I loved he was the only person in the entire series who basically bitch slaps Kira Sedgwick. He puts her in her place, totally puts her in her place, and I love that. And Mary McDonald was in that show.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just wanting to go back on that, how awesome you and your wife's relationship is.
Yes,
to the point where you just basically go, do you want to just put on Hamlet? Just it's an afternoon, let's just go put on Hamlet.
Hey, had it been just me, I would have never done it. I needed her to her ambition, because once she gets her teeth into something, she doesn't let go. She finishes it. I could be the guy that's all gung ho, but then I'm like, I'm bored. I want to go into the next thing. I don't know if that's ADHD or what.
That's what my site tells me.
Yeah, but she kept me pushing forward, and we ended up doing a production that was really significant.
That's amazing.
Only 100 people at a time saw it because we were in our little theater.
How long have you been married?
We've been married since 2008.
Oh, give it up, everybody. That's awesome.
Yeah, we've known each other since 1988, though.
Wow.
Friends. Yeah, we were just friends and
Lifetime.
distant acquaintances, and then came together again later in life. Yeah.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mark, we are, I think we can get one more question and then we're going to wrap things up. So you have the choice of the last hand of this.
Go ahead.
All right. So it broke my heart when Lucifer was killed off. Absolutely destroyed me. So Nick tries. When Michael killed Lucifer.
Oh yeah.
But then Nick was left, and I love Nick, but then he went really dark and tried to bring Lucifer back, and Jack stopped it. Well, I yelled at the screen the same time Nick did when Jack sent Lucifer back to the empty. So if Lucifer had been able to possess Nick again, what would Lucifer have done?
I don't know. I don't think it was an equal relationship.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was really exploitative. I think Nick was suckered. He got suckered into a relationship, or an abusive relationship with a sociopath, I hate to say. And I was disappointed in Nick, to be honest with you, because when I first played Nick in, I guess, season 5, my impression was that he was a devout man who had done all the right things, and something terrible happened to him. So he thought, like anybody, if I'm a good person, nothing bad should happen to me, especially nothing as extreme as my family getting murdered, because that's just evil. And then because of that tragedy, could never get over it, and never got over his resentment and anger. But the impression I got from the later Nick was something else, because he alluded several times to sort of being an absentee guy to his family. And then it felt like he was pursuing power and the lust for power, the desire to have power over others at the expense of everything else. And when he turned his wife away, when she's condemned to live forever in that middle ground between life and death, that was really a horrible thing to do. And he said, "I'm going for power and ambition over love."
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't. I mean, Lucifer would just use him to do whatever he wanted, which is take over the world. So he'd still be on his mission, I think.
Do you think Lucifer would have went after Jack?
Did it happen again? Well, that's it, folks. No. But I will say this though: this is the time before they yell at me, because if I keep you here too long, I'll open this last moment because it's a really great opportunity, especially at these cons, for a chance to talk to the fans. What sort of words of advice or any sort of parting words you'd like to give to everybody before they go out there and see the rest of the con?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you guys, because without you, I mean, our job means nothing. And to know that something that we did got you through a tough time, or through a surgery or something else in your life that otherwise would have been really hard for you, but we were able to make the burden a little less so, fills me with a great deal of pride to be even a small part of that equation. I love bringing value to your lives and seeing that here at the con. I get a chance to see that I created something of value to you, and you give something of value to me, and I want you to know how much I appreciate you. So go out there and have fun.
Everybody, give it up. Pellegrino, everybody. Keep it going. Keep it going. You have some standing ovations. Keep it going, everybody. Welcome.